Hello people, video number 3. We're going to talk today about the Alaskan fault lines, Redoubt volcano in the Alaska Peninsula. You remember in my last one, I talked about the heat signatures that's being recorded up in the Barents Seas between Alaska and Russia. Unparalleled, has never been witnessed before. This is a January 30th NOAA chart. I got this. If you can see these darkened areas, Alaska's right here. Alaska's right there. This is Siberia. This is the landmass between the two. These are heat signatures where the ice is melted and open waters now. Ice is melting over here with the permafrost. This is over in Alaska where they're picking up major differences in heat signatures below ground. This is seismic activity going on. Now, these temperatures have never been recorded like this before. What is causing it? Well, there is a pole shift going on. Now, is the Earth going to flop? No, the Earth is not going to flop. It's impossible for it to do that unless it has help. And then again, it maybe get a little help. But the pole shift has moved in the last 100 years. And how do I know this? Well, NOAA has looked at this where GPS coordinates are changing. They're not where they were last year. They've moved more west, northwest. So what is causing it? And where did they get information? Well, they went back 100 years looking at old shipping charts where whalers, fishing vessels, where they were fishing at up in the Barents Seas, and they find out the true north has moved west now. It is still moving as we speak. So as the Earth tilts more and more, with that chart I have the evidence right there showing the various places where electrical magnetic energies have been recorded. These recordings is going into seismographs. Right here in the very middle, if you can see that line, that is a influx of seismic activity increases in the last 50 years. This is what we call the temporal shift. It is affecting GPSs right now, airports, satellite, radars. They have to make transitions every 15 to 20 days to compensate the difference between magnetic north and true north. GPSs are not working properly in these areas. So if it says you're right here, you may be right over here by a couple hundred feet. Don't sound like much, but if you're out in the ocean, that's quite a bit. If you're flying to point A from point B and you have enough fuel to make it to point A, it could be a matter of life and death. Redoubt volcano, Alaska. Here's a picture, 2017, taken from Kodiak Island. See the plume right there? That's ash, people. That's ash. And that ash is being collected down in the ice fields in Alaska. The jet streams are picking it up. But is that the only one that is smoking? No. 2017, Mount Papalulu in, I got Mexico here, but it's actually in Guatemala. This was just before, 3 days before it erupted. It killed 168 people, by the way, and the pyroclasmic flow wiped out several villages down there within a matter of minutes. You will not outrun the pyroclasmic flow. This is a lake in Northern California. I don't remember the name of it, sorry, but you can get the picture. 5 years ago, that lake was a vacation spot for people. They could go in there and catch fish, all kinds of stuff. It's no more. Where did the water go? Well, let's continue on, and I'll answer that. Mount St. Helens, as you can see it, 1980. That whole side of that mountain caved in from a seismic event. Remember, the gases exploded and expanded. It blew that whole mountain out. It's active. Mount Rainier, a picture taken this year. See the cloud right there? That's called a heat signature. It's rising up out of the top of Mount Rainier. That's signs that it is becoming active. Mount Shasta. See the heat signature? Mount Shasta. Mount Hood. Heat signature. So where we had a disturbance this morning, it was a small disturbance out of Yellowstone, was at near Butte Ridge, Yellowstone, Montana. This was taken last year. See the heat signature right there? Norris Park Road in Yellowstone, taken last year. This section of the park is now permanently closed. See the road? See the steam coming out? The same thing with the volcano. The heat signatures are rising up. Teton Ridge, South Yellowstone. This is where they just had the recent quake there, and this is the part of the park that is permanently closed now to the general public. Only geologists and authorized personnel are allowed in there. This is the cloud cover that was recently taken. Look like clouds? Well, it is clouds. It's clouds of gas. So, what is causing it? Well, I told you, Redoubt Mountain in Alaska is very active. It's being very, very nasty, and it's going to get nastier. When what I call the bowl in Alaska, see if I can bring that out to you. The bowl is a area in Alaska, you can see right here. See, it's made like a horseshoe. It is situated with mountains. This is a dip in here. Redoubt Mountain's about right here. This area is so active right now that it's causing tremors off Kodiak Island, Kodiak Bay, Anchor Point, all the way up to a place called Yakutia, Alaska, all the way up to Wolf Pass, Canada, northern part of British Columbia. And it's all connected down to the Cascadia fault line. This plate, remember I told you, Cascadia is pushing down, and it's got help from the North American plate. It's pushing. Well, on the side, the northern side of the Cascadia fault line, the subduction zone, they've got that fault line coming from north to south from the Alaskan Peninsula. That area is prone to collapse, and when it collapses, so will the Cascadia. And then I've done told you about the trigger mechanism and how it works. I gave you guys an understanding of my map. The safe zones. I've redid it now. I want to show you a few things here, people. If you can see this. Here is Yellowstone. This right up here. This orange right here, that is the pyroclastic flow. It extends out 750 miles. That is a conservative prospect. It will go out 750 miles. If you live in Salt Lake City, I'll give you an example. If you live in Salt Lake City, when this bad boy breathes and blows, Salt Lake City will be covered with the pyroclastic flow within 10 to 12 minutes. That's a city of over 200,000 people. They will not survive it. If you see this green area right in here, that is the safe zone. Now people, follow this closely. The safe zone extends just south of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now we're going right into the northern part of Alabama, all the way up to the Iron Dike mountain range up in upper state New York, parts of New Hampshire and Vermont. They're all connected with it. The mountain range right through here will be safe. They will protect you from what's going to happen on the East Coast. Now we'll get into that on the next video, but If you live east of the Appalachian Trail or the Irondyke Mountains, all the way even up here to part of Nova Scotia, it's not going to be pretty for you. I want you to follow this. This right here is the ash fallout that we are projecting. See this blue line? That is the jet stream. It will carry that ash eastward. Many people in Middle Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, parts of Pennsylvania, mainly the western part of Pennsylvania, mostly the central part of the Ohio Valley, going up into central New York and right up into, well, just portions of Vermont and New Hampshire and stuff. You're going to get some ash, but if you're wise and smart, you'll survive it. And when I say wise and smart, stock up on water now, stock up on food. But what's going to make this so deadly? Is it just the volcano itself? Absolutely not just the volcano is it going to be deadly, but we have to put in the nuclear power plants. Electricity is going to go out, and it's going to be probably a global event with utilities going out. Communications are going to fail. So how are these power plants going to survive a complete meltdown? They won't. Again, I mentioned about there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube showing the tidal wave that came in and showing the Fukushima, Japan event where them 2 reactors blew. People are not understanding, but there was 4 reactors there. 2 of them were cooled by salt water that was purposely built and designed to go into these reactors. And they went in actually all 4 to cool the outside containment walls, but 2 of them containment walls ruptured and kept the salt water from going in there. It could have probably slowed the process of that meltdown down, but it didn't. And that's where you saw the explosions. And guess what? The people on the West Coast, you got the radiation from Fukushima first. How lucky were you? What we're going to have to see is that we need to prepare for this. I urge people to buy water, because water is going to be undrinkable if it's even be able to be found. I suggest you buy dry foods, stock up on canned goods. There's a lot of companies out there trying to sell MREs, that's meals ready to eat, military survival packs. And some of them are good. I can tell you here at my place, I have enough water to last me right now for probably 2 months. I'm going to get more. I've got plenty of food to last me probably 3 to 4 months. But I also know how to live off the land. You have to be selective what you'll be able to eat. Certain areas you may not have the luxuries like. I suggest that you read about survival tips, how to survive this incident. FEMA is not going to tell you. And yeah, we're getting close to FEMA. I've got some really shocking stuff I'm going to share with you about FEMA. Our fine people at the Federal Emergency Management Agency. I'm going to miss this. I am stocked up on this coffee though. I may be drinking coffee for 6 months. But these events are being noted, and they have happened before. They have taken place before. Many people don't realize how lucky we have it in this country. But now people are realizing just how bad we are going to have it in this country. And the old saying is that Donald Trump is going to drain the swamp. Well, I'll tell you, Donald Trump is not going to drain the swamp. The swamp's going to be buried. And that's really a pretty good, accurate assumption. So we went from the West Coast, we went up to Alaska. Now we're going to the East Coast. I'm going to express more in the East Coast and show you why the East Coast is in such dire need to pay attention to this. This is not Johnny come lately. This is not something that well, I think I'll make a new video today and we'll talk about the destruction of the United States. This stuff has been known for a number of years. we are getting close to FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security. And when we get in there, I will tell you about places like England, places in Europe, India, China, Australia. Boy, do not think Australia is going to get out of this scot-free, because they're in the land of down under. All my Australian friends love you to death, and I hope you take note. Yeah, you guys are a little safe down there from a lot of the rumbling, but it's that ash that is going to catch up with you, and it's going to be ugly. So anyway, we will stop here on video number 3, and the next one will be coming up. We will be talking about the East Coast events that FEMA knows about. Unfortunately, you on the East Coast do not, but I'm going to share it to you. God bless.